What's going on, y'all? I was kind of struggling to figure out what I wanted to title this video for quite a while because MMORPGs are something that I've always wanted to talk about. They're a genre that I've always found so much more interesting than almost every other genre. Not that I like them more, but the entire idea of an MMORPG it's just pretty insane. And so I wanted to talk about that. I used to play MMORPGs a little bit, back when I was younger. I played Black Desert Online, I played Albion Online, and I played a little bit of Lost Ark. I've never played like the big ones like RuneScape and WoW, but I put some time into those games and I will say I had fun. But if I were to continue playing those games, which I easily could have, I mean, I had a good time playing them, the time sink would have just been so crazy. And I was just thinking about why are those games even so addictive in the first place? What makes me want to play them? And I think I realize it's because MMOs imitate life in a way that no other video game does. You can play a first-person shooter, you can play a platformer, you can play a regular RPG, and it's all a sort of medium for you to understand maybe some kind of art form or, if you're playing in a POV shooter, it's skill expression. And MMOs, like, they have all those things too, but they imitate life in a way that none of these other games do because they give you a second life. And there's obviously the game's second life as well, which isn't really an MMO, but kind of, I would argue. But it's just there's so many things in MMOs that just have to do with your time and your presence that exist in regular life as well. And I think that MMOs can become addictive because it feels like your life actually is progressing towards something when maybe you might be stalled. There are a lot of things in life where you can work extremely hard and you can keep trying to move forward and you'll hit a million roadblocks and it can feel impossible to progress. In an MMO, you'll have these goals, you'll have these things that you want to achieve, and there's going to be RNG elements that you have to overcome, but eventually you'll get there. That's how the game is designed. You can be you can you can sit in your house all day, every day, never go outside, never accomplish anything in real life, but become an insanely powerful person on an MMORPG because all you need is your time. If you devote enough time to a game like an MMORPG, you will become successful in that. When in real life, you can do the exact same thing, and maybe you won't. And obviously, I can understand why something like that would be so addictive. Like, even World of Warcraft and RuneScape are still hella popular to this day. And I think that's a major reason. One, because they're obviously well-designed games if people are playing them so much, but they have to have that aspect of feeling like everything that you do has meaning, and feeling like you're progressing, and feeling like you have a purpose in the game. And I don't necessarily think that that's a horrible thing, but I think if you're going to spend so much time trying to progress and trying to do better and trying to overcome obstacles, even if it might not be guaranteed, you should just try doing something in real life instead. I like video games, but MMOs just feel like you're sacrificing so much for something that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, if all you really care about is happiness and MMOs bring you the most happiness versus anything else that you do in your life, do that, but I don't know, there's so many other aspects of life that I feel like you're missing out on if all you do is devote your time to an MMORPG. And every time I feel like I want to play one of these because it really is it's a whole other world. There are entire communities, entire sections of people, and I've always loved the idea of raids, being with 30 something members that are all powerful and you go and work together to defeat this boss over the course of hours. And it's this sense of teamwork and camaraderie that I don't really think that you have in a lot of other games. And I've always kind of, I've always longed for that. I've always wanted that feeling. But every time I think about how much effort it would take to actually go and play these games consistently, because all the active players of MMORPGs already have hundreds or thousands of hours in these types of games. And that's just so much of a time investment that I would have to give up so much of my regular life. And I just don't think I can do that. And if you can, and that's what you enjoy, and that's seriously what you want to pursue, I think that that's great. I think if you find something that you enjoy, you should go for it as long as you're not hurting someone else. But I don't know. I just think there's too much of a cost to being so into a game like an MMORPG, even though I think that they are very appealing, at least to me. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That's about all I have for you guys today. Later.